Hi everyone, this is a Focus Spender. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 rules on responsible credit card use. But first, if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. My channel is all about getting out of debt, staying out of debt, organizing your finances, and increasing your net worth. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me at Focus Spender on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now let's get started. I want to be transparent and start off by saying that I've always used credit cards. I used a credit card before I started my debt-free journey. I used it while I was getting out of my student loan debt, and I've used it afterwards. I've never had a problem with credit cards because I've always been really honest with myself and my spending habits, and I've been able to pay my bills off on time, to stay in budget, and to never miss a payment. For the most part, never miss a payment. That being said, I know that many people think that credit cards are evil. They're not inherently evil, with the exception of one type. I think that they're fine. It really just depends on you, the user, and your own spending habits. So you have to be very honest with yourself. You have to be brutally honest with yourself to understand whether or not you are the type of person that is able to use a credit card, or whether or not you just need to stay all the way away. So I personally use credit cards in just 3 different scenarios. One, if I'm going to buy a plane ticket or I want to book a hotel, I typically always use my credit card just to make sure that I have that insurance. Another scenario when I use my credit card is when the amount of points that I'm going to earn is just too good to pass up. So if I'm out and about and I'm about to buy something for $50, there's a 100% chance I'm just going to use my debit card. But if I am making a large purchase, if I'm buying something for $500, $1,000, I'm always going to use my credit card, even if I pay the bill off 5 seconds later. I want to make sure that I get those points in. And the third scenario that I use my credit card in is when I just want to make sure that I'm earning as much interest as I can in the bank. So let's say if I'm making another super large purchase and I have the money sitting in the bank, I may say, okay, you know what? This item costs $1,000. I really want this money to sit in my bank account for as long as possible so that I can continue to earn interest before that vendor is paid. So those are my scenarios when I definitely use my credit card. And one thing I want to point out is what you did not hear me say. You did not hear me say that I use my credit card for emergencies, because I do keep an emergency fund, and my emergency fund has a higher balance than my credit card limit does. So in the case of a true emergency, it'll take me less than a minute to fire up my Capital One app, transfer money from my emergency fund into my checking account, and pay for that emergency. So for me, credit cards are not about emergency. It's all about strategy. And my strategy is, how do I earn as much money from using this credit card as possible? So now I want to go into my 5 rules of using credit cards. And I actually should call these my 5 don'ts, because this is more like don't. First, number 1, don't fall for the store credit card hype. I know it's hard. I honestly went shopping not that long ago, and as I was paying for the item, they rang up my total and I used a coupon, so I already had a discounted rate. And then she clicked a couple of buttons and she said, oh, you would be paying this amount if you were using our store card. And for 2 seconds, I had a moment of weakness, and I was like, wow, I shop at the store a lot. That's great. And then I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't want to sign up for the credit card. I'm good. The reasons why I really hate store cards is for 2 reasons. One, the interest rate is usually ridiculously high, between 25 and 29%. So if you miss a payment or you're late with the payment, you're going to be spending 25 to 29% in interest when you only got 10 to 15% for your coupon. So it's just not worth it. It just does not make sense to use a store credit card when you're going to be spending that much money in interest. You could just use your own regular credit card that has a lot lower interest and gain points. And then number 2 is that their whole goal with offering you the store credit card is for you to spend more money. So they always say, oh, this is so that you can save money. Every time you shop, you'll save money. We'll send you coupons so you can save money. But they're sending you coupons. They're making you shop so that you can spend more money with them. And honestly, it's in their best interest if you max out the card and then you're late with payments, because then they make even more money on you. So when I said that credit cards were not evil, but there was one type that was evil, I was talking specifically about store credit cards. Store credit cards are evil, and I think that no one should use them. That's just my opinion. So number 2, if you have a history of maxing out credit cards, I want you to stay away from credit cards, and I want you never to come back. Credit cards are just not for you. It's something that you probably are not going to be good with not being tempted by. So let's say you always max out your credit cards and you manage to clear off your balances, you have no more balances, and now you're like, okay, I'm done, I paid off all my balances, should I use credit cards again? No, because what I've seen in the past is that people will max out their cards, pay off all the balances, max it out again. So if you have a history of maxing out your cards, just stay away and never turn back. Number 3, if you tend to run a balance where you just can't afford to pay your bill off every single month, or you just don't want to pay off the bill every single month, I want you to stay away from credit cards as well, because one of 2 things is happening. 1, you don't care about paying interest, which is crazy. Or 2, you are spending above your means because you don't have enough money to pay off your bills every single month. That says to me that credit cards are not for you and you should definitely stay away. Number 4, if you are using credit cards just to get the points without a plan to pay the bill off in full every single month, stay away, because at some point you are losing all the value of the points. You're not getting points on the interest, you're getting points on the purchase. So you might as well use your debit card, use cash, and forget the points if you're not going to pay the balance off in full. And number 5, in general, if you are using your credit card because you don't have enough cash for whatever it is you're buying, stay away. You're buying something that you likely cannot afford in the first place, and so your best bet is to wait until you have saved up all the money, and then you can buy the item with cash, or at that point, if you do want to use your card so that you can get the perks and then you pay off the bill automatically, that's fine, but you don't want to buy something that you're not going to be able to afford, because then at the end of the day, you're going to spend so much more money on that item. And if you would like to see my 4 tips on increasing your credit card score, please be sure to click on the video that is popping up on your screen right now. Thanks. Bye-bye.